Thanks for checking out the Man Without Flaws podcast, episode 3. Before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. Cardinal Point Screen Printing and Embroidery has hundreds of products for your business, sports team, or function. Upload your logo or start your design today at cardinalpointscreenprint.com. Jacob, that's my guy. He's helped us out tremendously, especially with our St. Patrick's Day line. So you too can cop these beauties at our online shop, localbigtime.com/shop, so check that out. But yeah, Jacob, huge help. He's amazing, very talented, so definitely shoot him an email. Also want to give a big thank you to our second sponsor, Burger Bar, 231 Colchester Parkway in Colchester, Vermont. Check them out. Use promo code BIGTIMEBURGER with an A for 10% off your next online order. Excludes alcohol. Not a big deal. Also, finally, this one really touches home for me. Gage Pelletier, a member of Harvard Youth Hockey. He's been battling cancer. He's going through chemotherapy. He's recovering from amputation surgery. There's an amazing fundraiser right now happening at cardinalpointscreenprint.com where you can buy Team Gage hats and sweatshirts and support. So I know myself, I'll be purchasing some Team Gage stuff. Last time I was in the warehouse with Jacob, he was showing me it. It looked awesome. They got some great sweatshirts that say Team Gage with the hockey laces. So still tying back to that hockey mentality. But any little bit that you can help can really go a long way. So Team Gage, we support you and keep fighting the good fight. Got a great episode 3 for you guys. Riley is out. He's enjoying his 21st birthday, so the kid is a puddle. Could barely get him on a text. I don't even know if he can read. He's so cross-eyed, so he's out. My buddy Jake Domos and former teammate is in. We got some great stories from our Jungle Bee days. Shout out to the Glades. Don't want to go back there, but we got the Glades. Then we talk about freshman orientation and probably the greatest wheeze of all time. How you darn? I don't even know how to start this intro. There's just too many. All right.
You don't have like a hello.
With me is a legend among legends. Okay? He was a vet before there were vets.
Facts.
And he was one of my teammates, Jake Domos. How are you? I've waited for you to come on this show. I've actually reached out a bunch of times. Just never lined up. Now finally we got you. Episode 3. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And it's perfect timing because we haven't spoken in how long you think?
Man, I mean, we text. We text.
Oh, yeah.
Good to be here, by the way. Happy to be here.
Absolutely.
Missed you, bud.
Oh,
so we text and stuff, but yeah, haven't really broke it down in a long time, man. Long time.
Oh, dude, long time. Well, it's the shitty part is too, as you get older, it's just so much shit going on in your life that's so fucking tough to get out for a second to see the boys or to do anything because our fucking jobs take up 99% of our life and it sucks.
For sure. But when you see one of the boys after a while, you know they're one of your buddies if you just get right back into it.
Yeah, the best part is
don't miss a beat.
Exactly, you pick up right where you left off. It's like you haven't left.
Yeah, how's your dad doing?
Not too bad. He's actually on a recruiting trip right now. How about this? So COVID recruiting is sick. Okay. His whole life is delegated to Texas and Florida. So he just goes back and forth because with the borders closed right now, he can't do anything. So they've had to get pretty creative with how they've recruited. So they've been looking at a lot of the NA,
yep,
EHL, the Western States League. But it's just kind of a shit show right now with COVID. So at the beginning of the year, they tried to play. Teams would get games would get canceled, so he would drive to places, he would drive 6 hours right to New Jersey, get there right before warm-ups, be kid tested positive. Game's over, game's off, and then he'd turn around and come home. It's just that's just the type of year it is. It's fucking miserable right now, and that's
Yeah, I feel like every industry or whatever you do for work, like some part of it just fucking sucks because of COVID. Like it just
it sucks.
becomes just so different. Yeah.
It's crazy to think like, all right, it's 2021. Like, how the fuck did we make it this far without dying? Like, why didn't someone wipe us off the planet earlier? Like, I don't know. We have the fucking iPhone. Like, why didn't anything kill us when we didn't even have vaccines, or like when polio was fucking running rampant? Like, it blows my mind.
Fuck, I was such a loose cannon after juniors. I'm surprised I'm still alive just from all the shit I put in my body.
Dude, how about this one? All right,
I'm not.
I'm looking at the infection rate for COVID on like the news. I'm like, how do we not all have herpes? Like, how the fuck do we not all have herpes? If we can't even control COVID and it's killing us, I'm like, everyone's got to have cold sores at this point. I mean,
Fucking wild.
not me, of course. Don't have to worry about and Domos, but everyone
Yeah,
else probably
definitely,
has it.
definitely not.
I've definitely built up some antibodies living at a hockey house or two.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
So
those
we go way back, fucking 2010, 2010, 11. Yeah,
great.
like talk about vet. Like I came in, I came in. It was my like 19, 20 year. I could have played one more year after, but it was pretty much my last year. And I thought I was gonna be on the A team, whatever. Playing for the Glades, Green Mountain Glades.
Danny, gotta
End
love.
up end up being like the captain of the B team, and I mean, the team fucking sucked. We
Yeah,
sucked.
terrible year, but
Not good, but
real group of guys.
hilarious. Like the older guys, we were fucking beauties. It was like 4 or 5 of us, and then everyone else was like 15 on the team.
Yeah,
So I
everyone
couldn't
else.
even talk to them. Like they wouldn't even like shower in the locker room. They'd be like, I gotta go home. I don't know.
They were wearing bathing suits when they go in the shower. He's just looking over like, what are you doing? Like, go back to the 8th grade.
Fuck. One kid was
How-
like Tipper
Dude,
was like 14.
dude, how about on the A team, one of our players had a fucking kid? How about that? Do you
True.
remember that? I forget
Yeah.
his name, but it was that kid from like I want to say like New Jersey or like New York. One of those. Just
think it was fucking
his girlfriend like fit the perfect like tan, black hair, like obviously Italian family. Like, do you remember when that little kid would go to the game and be like running up and down the fucking bleachers screaming "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy," and we'd be watching, just be like, "Oh my god!" We had,
And
like,
he's just trying to commit to like Milwaukee School of Engineering.
yeah, like a D3 shit school that you know you're gonna end up in the SP in about 4 years. Like,
Well, fuck. I feel like you've been in college since
the Don.
literally since then. You're like the Vermont Van Wilder.
Don't be a fool. Stay in school.
It's doctorate without the doctor, to be more accurate. But hey, do you remember you were actually at the start of when I used to go to freshman orientation at UVM? Do you remember those days?
Yeah, when you just like you just go.
Yeah, walk up to any party, just right through the door. The greatest
We
play.
did it a couple times. Like you'd just walk like up and down the hill.
Buddy, I went
Just go to
from
all those frat houses on the row there.
2010 to 2020. If it wasn't COVID, I would have had a nice 11-year run. But like, fuck, I for starters, I made it into my own pack that I was gonna try to have a nice little 10-year run every year. Electric. I mean, it's the greatest play. For starters, any freshman orientation, especially at a large school, they're not counting. Okay, so anyone can show up. And here at UVM, what they do is, because of freshmen do not know the area that well, they like to bring all the vendors onto campus. They put out concerts. They do all this shit like the first weekend. So naturally, when I graduated, I didn't go to high school, went the junior hockey route. But when my other buddies went to UVM, they were pretty nervous at the time. So it was one of my good friends, Cody. He's like, dude, will you go with me? He's like, I'm not going to know anyone. It's fucking so miserable. It's just awkward. So I was like, all right, no worries. I mean, I got nothing else going on. Plus, like junior hockey, like after 3 o'clock, you have nothing to do for like the rest of the day. So you're always just looking for shit to do, like to stay busy. I mean, you can only play 100 games of NHL before you're just done. And so showed up, and it was unbelievable. For starters, I couldn't even believe, like, I'm like, I thought you need like an ID or something, like prove like you're a freshman. No, they just, because the schools are so big, they can't keep count. So like they just open the doors. It's all free, and I would just run around. And Domos and I were like the pioneers. So that was like years 1 and 2 when we just discovered it. They had like,
It was sick, dude. I remember going to a couple parties at like houses that like they're like, oh, like what year are you? I'd be like sophomore. They're like, oh, word, come on in. I'd be like, yeah, some girls on the way or something, and would just like go. I remember going to this one party and like, I think we had a game the next day, if I remember correctly, and it was like a basement, and it was just like
always a couple games the next.
Vermont. They always had like the dubby and dubstep shit going on, and I just walked, and I had never really been to a party like this, and it was like trippy as fuck too. I was like, all right,
black lights just blaring you in the face. Everyone's got a
yeah,
big t-shirt on.
yeah.
My favorite part is when we would think about the backstory.
Let's be from Vermont, and let's have an emerging maple syrup conglomerate.
Like before we go into a party, just because like, again, the best part is you're never gonna see these people ever again. So you might as well have fun with it, right? So like Jake and I would think of like the craziest backstories, like straight out of Wedding Crashers, like literally straight out of Wedding Crashers. Get the backstory down to a T, and just that's what we stuck with the whole night. And people would love us. You remember people like, yeah, we'll come by your dorm room tomorrow. Let's go play like beach volleyball. I'm like, yeah, 217 Willis, anytime. Go there.
I remember I had a couple of friends at St. Mike's, so I would go to St. Mike's and like, but it's so different. Like St. Mike's isn't like this big rip school. Like I'd go and like
all Catholic school. Like,
yeah, I'd go like smoke weed with my friends there or something.
Yeah.
But like you go to UVM, like you don't fucking know anybody. We just ripped it up.
30,000 students, so obviously they're not gonna keep count. And that place is a playground. It is so much fun. I mean, we would literally walk in. Like, I mean, the best part is like sneak. You remember like sneaking into some of these parties? What we'd do is we'd case the house. We'd find out where the parties are because there's just a line of people walking to it. And then we'd case the house. We'd see like kind of where the back door is because we want to go. But more times than not, obviously they thought of that. So they'd have like some sort of person blocking the door. But you remember we'd be like climbing through like windows at like the bottom level to like get one guy in to open up like the back door to let all of us in.
It was awesome. Who else? Rosie would go with us. Rosie is he's like a professional
gambler,
card player, gambler.
Yeah, I haven't talked to that kid. I touch base. I haven't heard from him in a minute, but he always we'll always like each other's stuff every once in a while, or like send like a random Snapchat. But it looks like he's crushing in poker.
He is, and I'll be like, "Yo, what are you up to?" "Oh, I'm going to the Dominican. Just had a sick weekend." Like, or he'll be like clubbing in Jersey, like bottle service and shit.
I would love this.
Long way from the 18+ club in Burlington, Vermont.
Oh my god, dude! How about that place? How much of a shit show was 18+ night at?
It's weird. It's a weird vibe.
I mean, for starters, all they did was give you a Sharpie Black X, right? But they'd serve alcohol to anyone else who didn't have a Sharpie Black X. So as soon as you get in the door, you're doing this. Like 5 seconds.
Walk right to the bathroom, wash it off.
Okay, 21. I'll take a couple of Jaeger bombs.
Yeah.
And the best part was we were like, we had the biggest baby faces too. So like we had to stand out by like a mile at these things.
Oh yeah.
But fuck, that thing was... And that club is no longer, obviously, for a lot of underage drinking violations. Shocker.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but yeah, that place is... I mean, that's another reason why I'll never get COVID, because I've built antibodies being around disgusting dive bars like... What was that called? Lift at the time? Now it's like Zen nightclub. I don't even... And then now Sputies, but... Speaking of,
you know what? I'm so grateful we played that year up there. I go back to Burlington. I bring my wife up there. I'm still in touch with my host family. Yeah, I love it up there.
Talk to your host family?
Oh yeah, they came when I got married. They came to my wedding and shit. They're awesome.
How are the kids? They gotta be old.
They're old. Actually, full circle story. 2 years ago, one of them came and worked for us at the restaurants on the Cape for the summer. Came and stayed at my house, lived there. Like, she's got drunk, threw up on our freaking carpet and shit. So it was
like
actually no, she didn't. Her roommate did.
Nice.
So it wasn't her.
Decent.
Shouts out Sarah. Yeah, so it's great. I love Burlington. I love going back there now. Great breweries. Fuck. I just knew about Magic Hat back then. Now there's like everything. I go to Zero Gravity. Place is fucking lit. Bring the dog there.
Next time you come up, come to Foam Brewers.
Oh, I love Foam.
Oh, you've been
They
there?
got the CBD beer, but you really drink it and you get fucking high as shit.
See, I wish I loved that like hoppy stuff. I'm like the biggest vagina when it comes.
I don't really like that much either. Like I like the hazy IPAs, I think, but like Foam is great. Great spot.
Sick location too, right on the waterfront.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Also, have you ever been to Spot on the dock?
No.
Dude, you gotta go. That place, it's on the water. People like drive their boats up and park. I go there to pregame. It's open till like I think midnight. So it's right on the water. That's where like everyone in the summertime, it's only open in the summertime. Like the most beautiful view ever of Lake Champlain. And from like the hours of like 7 to like 10:30, packed, shoulder to shoulder. Everyone goes there, and then as soon as like 10:30 hits, everyone literally leaves there and goes like there's like 3 bars that you'll see everyone else at. It's like Rasputin's.
Yep.
I don't know if you ever heard that place.
Oh yeah.
A lot of oh my god, that place is a bomb shelter.
Been there.
Then you got What Ails You, which is another they've gotten hit with a couple underage violations, so you can only
Pretty divey spot.
Oh, they're divey. I love it too. I just love like there's like no doors on the stall. There's piss, throw up everywhere in the bathroom. Like that's the places I like to hang out. But so it's like Rasputin's, Red Square, or What Ails You. That's like or Ake's Place kind of. But those like the 3 spots where as soon as 10:30 hits, everyone just leaves that area and goes up.
I like Red Square. That was fun. Like that
Red
was a fun
Square's a good
college
time.
spot. Yeah.
Red Square is a really good time. The guy that owns Red Square, I don't know how, but we've become like pretty good friends. So he always takes care of the kid. Like every once in a while, I want to cut the line, and he's always just like, I think it's because I took pictures of his kids for like Easter, and now he's like the nicest guy. Like I was just walking by, he's like, hey, can you take a couple pictures for me and my kids for Easter? I'm like, yeah, no problem. And now he like takes care of me no matter what. How about there's another bar in Burlington. It's a door. It's hidden, right? So you walk in, you go down this alley. It's the creepiest thing ever, right? You look like you're gonna get knifed. So you go down this alley, past Red Square. You're gonna take a left. You walk in. It looks like a bank, and so there's like a bank teller, like ATM machine. To the right of it is a coat rack. You pull the coat rack, and a door opens, and it's a bar, and it's only cash only, and they like pour heavy drinks. It's sick.
Awesome. Good to know.
Dude. I don't even think they have a name for it.
Even better. I'll find it. I know where it is.
It looks like you're walking into Hogwarts. You literally pull on this coat hanger, and this huge door opens, and then there's you walk down this hallway, and there's a bouncer. It's
I've only been to a couple speakeasies before, but it's a great. You feel like you're.
Is that how did they get away with that stuff?
It's definitely like it's probably illegal. It is a legal bar. That's just their appeal, I guess. You know.
Yeah. Because I'm like cash only. I'm like, this is sick. Speaking of bars, what's it like working at the Cape?
Man, obviously with the restaurant industry this year, it was pretty crazy. Right away we got hit, and Massachusetts is very, very conservative. So right away, like shut everything down, takeout only. I mean, we have like the busiest bar on Cape Cod, and to just go from that to takeout only was like record scratch. Every year, like my wife and I, we bartend there. It's a place called the Port. It's in Harborsport.
Those pictures look so sick. I've been telling I have a bunch of buddies who go to the Cape during the summertime, and I've been telling them you gotta check it out. I need to make a trip. I tried to go this summer, but obviously COVID really screwed that.
Yeah, I mean it's an epic spot. The owners, they're hockey guys. One is a scout. The other one is pretty much a scout. Places guy. Like they both work in the game, both played pro. Just beauties. So obviously it sucked at the beginning of this year, but then we adjusted, and as far as like restaurants on the Cape, we were definitely like jamming. We were definitely the
One of the more
busiest
popular
spot. Safe, spread out. We had a tent in our parking lot and just like that did what we could, you know.
How were the numbers at the Cape this year? Was it like the same, or did the usual
Uh,
crowd go, or was it pretty?
Honestly, the population of the Cape has gone up this year because all the people who it's their second home, all these Connecticut, New York,
Yeah.
Boston area people who don't really need to be in the city anymore. They've just come to the Cape because they feel it's safer. And
Oh, I don't blame them.
now we're like schools enrollments are going up, all that. So in a way, that kind of helped. Our food sales were higher than they've ever been. But
Are you guys seasonal, or are you all year?
yeah, the port is seasonal. There's another restaurant they own called Ember. That's like coal fired pizza. It's fucking awesome. That's where I started working with them when I was like
Can you
playing
toss
junior.
pizza?
Oh, dude, I'm making pizzas tomorrow night.
You can toss. Can you throw it up in the air and do all that?
Yeah, fucking pizza guy.
Dude. Oh,
It's
okay.
the first thing you got to learn when you're making pizza, dude.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I want to get to that skill level. See, my goal is to have like a nice brick oven where you can just throw pies in and just cook them yourself all day long. Like
Yeah,
outdoor.
it's a coal fired oven, so it's 1,000 degrees. They cook in like 2 minutes. It's dope. I
Do you
cook
know,
them.
like,
I cook them and cut them. I'm like
I was gonna say, do you do all that yourself? You can do that.
I can do it all. Yeah, I mean we work with a couple different people. It's just a nice gig in the winter. You know, I help them out, and
Yeah.
I love my job over at the port. But like I started at Ember when I was like playing in Vermont. Every time I'd come back home in the summer, these guys gave me a job. I was a busser, then a waiter. Then I fucking waited and wanted to bartend, wanted to bartend, wanted to bartend. And then one day they're like, "Hey, we need you over at the port." And this is like, years in. I put in like maybe 6 years at this point with them. Hey, we need you at the port. You're gonna bartend tonight. So I'm like, oh shit, the big leagues. I'm going from Ember to like, okay, sure, here we go. How are you? And so this crazy, crazy chick, like, she trains me and like she corrected everything I did. And like, I don't know, like, yeah, I wasn't a pro bartender yet, but like I could talk to people, whatever. I could fake it.
You've made enough drinks in college where anybody can pick up and go.
Yeah.
Rum and
So
coke. What else you need to know?
next day I come in, they're like, "Hey, how'd it go yesterday?" I'm like, "Oh, it was great, man. Loved it. And, thank you so much for the opportunity." They're like, "All right, well, you are the bartender now, so just figure it out." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I'd literally, people would be like, "Hey, let me get an Alabama rootin' tootin' motherfucking shit," and I'd be like, "Yeah, no problem." I'd just
How hard was it to figure out how to
go
make
look it up on my phone real quick and
Yeah.
then come back and make it. I just look it up on my phone every single time.
watching
No
YouTube
shame.
tutorials behind the bar? Just
I
like
had an app like it has every drink in the world. I just do
that's
that. So yeah, I love the restaurant game. I think that's what I'm gonna, ultimately be a part of, and that's the route I want to take.
oh,
Actually, boom, 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 announcement. I'm gonna be dropping. This is kind of a intro segue to. I'm doing a podcast.
I love it.
Probably within the next month or so, it's gonna be kind of unveiling and stuff. Somewhat restaurant based. Nobody really has anything with restaurant store, just food and bev. Like I
Yeah.
want to talk to brewers. I want to talk to everybody in my industry and get to the depths of it.
I mean the backstories. I mean, I don't know about you, but I love like cooking travel shows. I
Oh
just
yeah, like Anthony Bourdain, all that shit. Like it
Dude,
really
that
interests me.
guy-
That shit's awesome.
It sucks that he's dead, but that guy is the best. But like the
R.I.P.
backstories about this and like how they've come of it, and actually on our last episode we had my buddy who's based in England right now, and I'm like, what breweries have you been to? And he's like, I've been to like ones that like were started in the Middle Ages. Like, how crazy is that?
Insane.
Like, just thinking about like the shit that they had to keep it around that long is fucking insane. Especially through like all the shit you have to go through with pandemics and world wars and famines, to keep a bar open from the 1600s is wild.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But
Meaderies and shit.
yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna give you one of my favorite restaurant stories. Before I do that, I'm gonna have a Dear Mac. This is from Mighty Squirrel. They are a brewery in the Boston area.
I like
Probably
it.
they make cloud candy. I don't know if you've seen cloud candy anywhere.
Oh, what's that?
It's like tastes like the name. I don't know how else to describe it. It's fucking
Little treat.
unbelievable hazy beer. So yeah, the guy from Mighty Squirrel came by Ember today when we were there. Gave us a little care package with some samples. So thank you, Alan. Thank you, Mighty Squirrel. I'm gonna drink this and tell you my favorite
I'll give
story ever
I'll give
from the
you
Port
that.
Restaurant.
I'm going with just found a bunch of random items at the house. We're going with tequila and Powerade. It's not that bad. It's actually thought it'd be terrible, but at this point it gets the job done. A to B. Just trying to get a nice.
You know, at this age, nothing's really like terrible. We drank it all at this point. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, do you remember drinking the original Four Locos? Like that was like gasoline.
Oh, they came out that year, 2010.
Dude, wow, we were in juniors and we had guys that were 20 bombs buying it for us.
There was a spot I could buy from. My recipe: two Four Locos, one blunt, and that's all I needed in a night. Normally, one Four Loco. The original Four Loco.
Original Four Loco got you so.
If you had two, you were bundled.
Do you remember? And then do you remember like the knockoff versions of the Four Loco that were even heavier, like even more liquor in them?
Oh yeah.
I remember
it was like all unregulated. You get like it was basically like a NOS energy drink with like grain alcohol in it.
Yeah, it was just pure heroin to your fucking. I don't even know how do people not have heart attacks off that stuff is wild. But do you remember when like they would bring cases of it? Like whoever had the fake, we had like 3 guys on the team that fake. So like they'd buy it all and then they'd bring back and they'd come back with cases of original Four Locos and we would just. I think it was the red kind. I don't know what it was flavored.
Dude, a hockey house drinking Four Locos is like, it's a recipe for some holes in the wall or something.
Do you remember how bad that house ended up? Like,
yeah, I'm so happy I live with a host family. Like I had it fucking made. I would come home. They love me. The kid would be like, "Hey, you want to play Xbox? You want to play knee hockey?" I'd be like, "Yes."
Family too. Didn't they have an awesome dog, if I remember?
Awesome dog, Bernice, mountain dog.
Yeah,
Daisy.
it was like super fluffy because I just remember I just like hug it in the backyard and just play with it.
Yeah, it's just so cool. Yeah, they're great. I have my own. They kicked the son out of his room. He slept in like the closet, and I got his room for the year. Like it was the best. They'd keep ice cream in the freezer for me, cook me. Like I'd have a game day bacon, egg, and cheese from him every game. It was unreal.
I just remember 2 times I came over there, you were treated like royalty, and it was the second time was like a week before you left, and they were just devastated.
No, they
wanted you to stay all summer.
Yeah, I know they're awesome. I know I stayed as long as I could. They're awesome people.
Greatest.
That was a cool experience for sure. I'm so happy I didn't live in that hockey house. That place was a fucking dump.
Dude, that's how you'll never get COVID because that place is absolute ground zero for anything because those floors you would lose like a ping pong ball and it would just stick. It would just stick to the ground.
I loved a bunch of those kids. Pat George, he was a good kid. Ben Bauer, I talk to him a lot still.
I know. I see him all the time. I haven't talked to him at all, but I see him all the time, and it's well, I knew a couple guys that played with him too, so I was like, oh, tell him I say like what's up. Like I'm like I always like love to like see what like all the guys are up to because I mean
Ben Bauer played like 3 or 4 years of pro.
Yeah, I know. He made it the
SP.
furthest. I think did Pat George play pro?
No, I don't think so.
I think Bauer might have made it.
Well, actually,
all of us.
Marcy.
Oh yeah,
Marcy's been playing pro in Italy since he was like since then. He was I don't know if he is now, but I know he played for like 3 or 4 years after, like hometown team.
Have you talked to him at all? I keep trying to check out his Facebook to see what he's up to. He's so hard to get in contact with.
No, I haven't talked to him.
I talked to do you remember Victor?
Oh yeah. Yeah, his sister went to Suffolk the next year, so I saw her a bunch there.
I forgot about that.
She was cool. I never understood how the Swedes just don't have an accent.
Dude, like, the best English ever. How the fuck?
Like better, way more of a vocabulary than me and everything.
So proper. I don't get it. Like, I sound like an idiot next to these people, and I've been speaking English my entire life. But like, yeah, you hear these guys talk. I'm like, what's that word mean? like
it's English, bro.
Way over my head with the English language. It's just like I talked to. Well, I was trying to get Vic to come on. He'll come on eventually. We'll pressure him or we'll.
I wanted to tell you about Duma.
Yes. How's Duma doing?
All right, so Duma, this kid, his name's Duma. His name's spelled Dumas. Dumas Miguel.
He's an English feller.
English, like a black English hockey player, like probably the
Great
first of his kind.
Yeah.
And he's
First
an absolute beauty, like so funny, so fun to be around. He ended up, it was basically you, me, and him who ended up hanging out the most.
Yep. And then you remember him and Rosie? They just go back and forth. That was my favorite when they each other. you're flopping, dog. You're flopping. Bruv. Bruv.
So basically, I'm in Miami. At a certain point after college and all that, I was working in music at the time, and I'll get into that. But I'm living in Miami in this unbelievable condo. Like my family friends own a lot. They own a really big company. I won't say it. I won't blow up their spot, but like unlimited funds. And the son was living in a condo, and I'm like, hey, you need a roommate? He's like, fuck yeah, $500 a month for a multi-million-dollar condo overlooking Biscayne Bay. Like felt like Scarface. And so one night I'm out in Brickell, and I hear like, hey bruv, hey Jake, that you? I turn, I'm like, Doom, are you fucking kidding me? And we had a night, like went back to my place after, like got after it. Fast forward 3 days later, Duma has not left my spot.
That's classic Duma.
I've been like going to work, like working out, doing shit, like working in music, going to the studio. I'm like doing all kinds of shit. Duma's just still there. My roommate's like, this guy's hilarious. Like 3 days later, I'm like, Duma, like, I think you need to stop putting things into your body, and you should probably just go home and sleep.
Do you have a home?
Like, I love you, kid, but he was like, I was like, you gotta like change your clothes or like wash your socks or something, man.
But he did that in Glades too. You just like you just hang out.
But he was, I mean, it was a rip. It was really funny. But eventually, I was like, all right, Duma, bro, you got to go home.
That's so fucking funny. He hasn't changed at all since.
No, he didn't.
Because he pulled that same shit all the fucking time. Like we would all hang out together, and like we would go out all the time, like to UVM or like St. Mike's, and then we'd come home. But like he would still like be in like the same clothes like 2 days later, like just hanging on the couch, just doing his thing. Like, does he still crush fast food or what?
I don't know. I don't think he ate. I think he just drank.
Jesus. Do you remember how that kid in fast food? Oh my God. He was so funny. That kid is so jacked and has the worst diet ever. He was like, I remember when he discovered KFC and like, was it Wendy's too? Like we were introducing him to like fast food chains that they didn't have in England.
On the road, like you'd stop at this gas station, he'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like Taco Bell. When he got Taco Bell for the first time, he's just blown away. I don't like tacos. He's like eating it like this.
Actually, speaking of dogs, this is a story that I tell it at the bar. I tell people, you gotta have little bartender stories or whatever. And whenever someone's talking about dogs, I tell them about one of my favorite dogs ever, Mr. Peanut.
Oh, the legend himself. He is a pillow with legs.
I don't know if he's dead or not, but like he was old then.
No, it didn't kill him. Surprisingly, not a heart attack. Actually, sad. And it's still not even funny. Steve actually hit him in the car.
Jesus Christ.
He didn't. Well, it's a miniature dachshund. That guy, I actually felt bad for him.
So let me tell you about Peanut. Peanut. Well, I'm not telling you. Let me tell the people about Peanut. Peanut was a miniature dachshund, black, and fat as fuck. Like looked like you took a tire pump and you pumped the dog up. And
that's the greatest.
So I remember spending the night at Sam's house, and like we just I don't even know if we even went out or we were going out the next night I don't even know. We came back and Peanut's there. You let Peanut out. I'm like where's Peanut? I'm looking around. Where's Peanut? And you're like, oh, just follow the line in the snow. This dog's belly dipped so low that when he would walk, his dick would hit the ground and drag a line in the snow. So you just see a little dick line. Peanut anywhere he went.
Oh, that poor guy. He hated the snow too, because again, when your pecker's dragging through the snow, it's not so much fun. But he would run out 2 seconds, turn around, come back in, piss inside.
So it was so funny, dude. So he lives on. I tell that story
The craziest part is,
semi frequently.
out of all the vets, out of everyone would say he would die of a heart attack. They're like, you gotta get this dog to lose weight. You gotta get this dog to lose weight. And the thing that killed him, got hit by a car. Like that's, I mean, it sucks, but yeah, I mean, Peanut was the greatest dog ever. He was so cute. He used to hump. Do you remember when he'd hump my other dog? I had a black lab, and he'd just go to town on it, just grab its leg. Oh God.
So I think that weekend we went to Marlboro. We were playing the Junior Bruins, so we went down, and Junior Bruins now they're sick. They're always good.
Just Jack Eichel played for him, and every other NHL.
So I'm getting to that. First shift I used to start because I was the best kid on a shitty team. Good for you.
Yeah.
Not even, but first line on a shitty team.
At least you weren't.
And I start and I'm looking, and this kid is fucking. Well, he's kind of tall, but so skinny. And I'm like, this kid looks 12. Well, he was 14, and his name was Jack Eichel. And first shift, I crushed him, bunnied him.
Oh yeah.
And
weighed about like a buck.
yeah, but it was not like wow, he crushed this kid. It was like, okay, they had a kid, Paul Russell, too, who was sick.
Yeah. Russell, nasty.
Did he play in Norwich?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you know him. So they were sick, and all of a sudden, I just bundled this kid. I'm like, this kid's fucking 12. He scored 4 goals.
He is so nasty.
He was so good. Who?
Remember Frankie Vetrano?
Oh yeah.
Like that team was sick. And Frankie, that kid had an NHL shot, and he was like 15, and he had a laser for a shot.
He was in 94 back then. I think he was 94.
Whatever. He was like 14 playing against guys in their 20s. How about this might have been the year before you got there, but did you ever hear when Denny cut Johnny Gaudreau?
No.
Oh, so this was the year before you got there, because this was the Zemgus year. Yeah. So we had Zemgus on our team, and this was when we were pretty young, and we went to play in Philadelphia, and we you know how Denny's always calling guys up from random areas to like try them out. However the fucking they do junior hockey now. But
damn.
So we got on the bus to go to the rink, and there's this kid in the front seat who looks scared out of his mind. He had a bowl cut, black hair. And we're like, oh, who's this kid? And one of the people like, oh, he played for like Team Comcast. Like we're kind of working him out. And he plays the weekend with us, cuts him. Next thing you know, the following year, he's on Dubuque with Zemgus, and it's Johnny Gaudreau. Like, Dennis cut Johnny Gaudreau.
He's an idiot.
I mean, that team we still had NHLers on our team.
They found Zemgus, though. Like, I played with Zemgus that summer. He was... It wasn't like you didn't look at him and you're like, wow, this kid is so nasty. But, like, you couldn't take the puck from him. Like, he would just, like, move his body in the way. He was such a good hockey player. Like, I love hockey. I'm pretty good in my men's league now, but like in the grand scheme of things, not that good at hockey. Like these kids are fucking good.
Do you remember? It was like, have you ever seen the movie Kicking and Screaming?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Will Ferrell's like past the Italians? That was like Zemgus and juniors. Like that kid, we would throw him on the ice for like 2-minute shifts. Like towards the end of the games when we needed a point, he'd go out there, get a point, come back in, then like the last 10 minutes, the kid probably took one shift off. He was just unbelievable. Everyone just passed to him because you knew he was going to score. He was
good shit. He's a good shit too.
Yeah, he's one.
Kid knows how to party too.
Yeah, he just had a kid too. Congratulations if he is listening. Throw him a couple snaps. I threw one to
every now and then I shoot him like a DM, like "fuck yeah, bro" or something, and he responds. It's not like he doesn't like big time.
He stays true to his word. He's for the boys. Because I was like, I sent him one when I think was it him that tore his hamstring, or was that Nyquist? Either one of them fucked up. he's out for the year because it's a COVID year, so it's like a shortened year. So yeah, but he's like the best. I was shooting him a text. I'm like, yeah, the boys got your back. Like, come by, stop by. You got so much time on your hands. We got to get.
He's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get back to Dirty Burley.
Yeah, seriously. I actually.
So speaking of fucking beauties,
yes.
let me give you this. Want to talk Showtime? Want to talk NHL? Let me give you probably my favorite restaurant story of all time. And I'll be saying this story eventually on my podcast too, which will be coming out, like I said, in about a month. It's going to be called.
Right before it comes out, we got to get you on again to really pump it.
Yeah, it's going to be called Can I Speak to the Manager?
I like it.
Because I manage at the restaurant at the Port, and the stories alone I have, like, people, can I talk to the manager? Like, I can't imagine what other people have.
How many Karens do you deal with? Does the Cape just fill with them?
Not necessarily, but in the summer, you know, everywhere you go, when someone's hungry, they become a Karen real quick. Especially this year, like, we were very strict on like everything we were doing and all the rules and masks and this and that. And like sometimes drunk people just like don't want to. Sometimes people in general just want to be an asshole and don't want to. They think that they're above it, and it's like, you think I want to be wearing this fucking mask all day too? Like, come on.
That's the thing. I don't get, why are we yelling at each other? It's like, dude, I don't want to wear the mask as much as you clearly don't want to wear the mask because you're not wearing it. But like, fuck, let's just get this shit over with. But yeah.
Yeah. So this is 2 years back at the restaurant at the Port, and I'm working the bar with, she was my girlfriend then, she's my wife now. She's a rocket too.
Yeah, I know. Good for you. Nice work.
Yeah. I was like, you're not gonna do better than this, buddy. You better fucking treat her right and lock it in.
Tell her you're the boss at the Port when you interviewed her.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're working the bar, and Jimmy Hayes was getting married that weekend. So he was going to the Port and Ember like the night before, the night of, and then the morning after, like they went to Ember. So like our restaurants just all weekend were, and actually Johnny Hockey was supposed to be there. He didn't come that week. But like Jimmy Hayes, so obviously in his wedding party, he's got a bunch of beauties. He's got Kevin in his wedding party. So the Hayes brothers and their clan come to town, and their dad is like, he's like a big like ticket guy in Boston, like selling tickets, and he's just like super connected. He's just, their family was hysterical. So this whole clan from Dorchester comes in, and it's night one at the Port, and so it's welcoming night. So all their friends and family are coming in, and we're having fun. And my boss will come to the corner where we're bartending, and he'll always like get his drink from me or my wife or whatever. And he comes, he's like, hey, like looks at me, he's like, and we're busy as shit. We're busy as fuck. And there's a bar outside, but there's two bartenders we have 3 bars going at this time. So the bar outside is jamming on the deck. It's nuts. He's like, hey, I need your help. I'm like, follow me. I'm like, all right, follow you. And my wife's like, where are you going? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have to kick someone out. I'm gonna have to clean up some puke. I'm gonna have to do something. You know, this is pre-COVID, so we're bumping. And he walks me right out the side door. He's like, need your help. And I'm like, help with what? He's like, well, we're going to take a shot ski with Keith Kachuk. I'm like, oh, are we? My hero that I grew up with, that I grew up like looking up to, like one of my favorite hockey players of all time, played with Roenick. Like this is like an idol to me. And I walk up, he's like, what's up, Jake? And we do a shot ski, boom, right there. Another one, boom, right there. And let me tell you, right when Keith Kachuk walked in, he ripped a shot ski, then ripped a Sambuca, and did not stop until we shut the place down. Like he was the last one standing too, out of that whole wedding party. You got the Hayes brothers going nuts. Kachuk is hilarious. Kachuk's brother is like walking around crop dusting the whole place and is like telling everyone about it. Like you have the Fitzgerald brother. Like they were wet noodles at that point. Like everyone was so hammered. But Keith Kachuk was one of the, beauty move by my boss, by the way, to just be like, hey, I need your help and not tell me, and then bring me out to do
what a legend
shot ski with Keith. But Keith Kachuk is everything. You only drink Sambuca.
Really?
What a rare fact. Keith Kachuk only likes Sambuca. I
That-
mean, maybe he likes other shit, but like that's all he was crushing.
That's crazy. I would
I
have
just brought a bottle out to the naughty bar, just put it. I'm like, let's fucking
Yeah,
go.
this is for you.
Let's get after it.
You keep it.
That was the last night I drank Sambuca, I think. But yeah,
That's the. I mean, you gotta be an absolute sicko to be. If that's your drink of choice. I mean,
oh, but what a crew that was! Like those Hayes brothers were. It was comedy. Like me and the boss were just out there dying laughing like the whole
love
time.
watching those guys on Spittin' Chicklets because they just him and I love fucking the guy there that's with the Panthers. What the fuck's his name?
Oh,
Keith
Yams.
Randall. Those guys, him and Whitney, when those three are together, it's so fucking funny. Like, I can only imagine I can only imagine what the dad must be like. If his kids are that funny, the dad must be fucking out of this world.
So this summer I'm outside and I was kind of managing this year, like kind of just roaming, hosting. Like I wasn't really behind the bar as much. I was more problem solving, COVID police basically.
Yeah.
And I'm walking and I just hear like this. I hear this guy talking like motherfucker, talking. And I like stopped him. I walked by him, stopped in my tracks. I was like, Walshy? Like, you're Brendan Walsh? He's like, yeah. I'm like, hi, huge fan, you fucking beauty. And ended up that night, we brought him inside. Us and like 4 servers and him just crushed it for like 4 hours. The stories that kid had he is just as funny in real life as he was on Chicklets. Like he is legit a movie character. Like Text and Biz, like while we're there, like some girl they both knew was at the table. It was fucking hysterical.
That's
so yeah,
unreal.
all those guys are just as funny in real life.
This place must be out of this world popular. If you're
I mean, especially like low key in the hockey world, it's not like we like promote that, but like you just see hockey guys and
all the time.
oh yeah.
Is it right on the beach?
Pretty much. It's on C Street. It's about a quarter mile from the beach. Yeah, great spot. Fucking it's great working for hockey guys. Same mentality. Yeah. Moved back to Harwich with my wife. We bounced around a little bit. We got a house in the west side of town that we're really fond of. We're less than a quarter mile from the beach. It's great.
Sick. Hey, you ever see Dean Nisgoda?
Fucking love Dean.
How's he doing? I see. What does he have? Like a construction business now?
Yeah, he is a savage.
Dean, the tugboat.
He was a very good hockey player. Like those kids were on him and his brother were on all my teams growing up.
Pickup hockey player I've ever seen because all he does is get buckets.
He's so good, dude.
He's a fucking absolute brick shithouse. You can't. The hits that kid would put on people, like I just love watching him play because it's Dean, right? Dean it's like the hockey version of Gronk out there. He just fucking runs into people.
That's the best way to put it. And he's always pretty much been like that. Even like in the workhorse, like I think last year or 2 years ago, like he was doing like a septic thing with somebody. One of the pipes burst. Dean jumped in and like saved his buddy who was like in the shit, like literally. Like they had to breathe through like straws or something before they got out. Like Dean is an absolute savage.
Yeah, I mean the kid was trained to be like a Navy SEAL, so you got to be a sicko to some format. And this kid wore it to a T. Big thank you to Jake Domos for coming on this week's podcast. Riley, can't wait to hear the stories for episode 4. Definitely check out localbigtime.com/shop. Check out our St. Patrick's Day merch. We got some good ones you don't want to miss.